Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Oana.
Okay, we're going to do an update to the Las Vegas real estate market for December because it's the beginning of December. And because of that, we have brand new data from Altos Research. It's where we get all our data from. We're going to go through it. We have some national data as far as inventory that we're going to share with you too a little bit later on.
All right.
You ready? Okay, so let's just start off here. We're going to start with this Market Action Index 35. 35 is pretty much, it says slight seller's advantage. And is this pretty normal? What's the slowest part of the year usually?
Now,
okay. As you go through the data, you'll see all this. So 35, historically it's between 35 and 40, probably in the slow part of the year here in Vegas. That's kind of, but it's surprisingly still considered a seller's market, even though it's kind of a slight seller's advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty even market.
Pretty even market. Okay. And then, so let's go through here. We'll start with the median list price, which you kind of see is kind of moving sideways. That's just the list price. That fluctuates based on the type of homes that come on the market. If more smaller homes come on the market, that goes down. If bigger homes come on the market, that goes up. Price new listings, as you can see, also is doing pretty much the same thing. Per square foot, we're going to go. We have a whole chart on this, but you can see it's not dropping, which is surprising. Here's the real interesting. If you go down here to inventory, almost every year it's October where inventory peaks.
Right.
Okay. It was November 1st. Inventory hit a peak of 3509. It has been starting the gradual decline now for the last 4 weeks. It's literally gone down like 10 or 15, meaning 10 or 15 more houses have sold than come on the market. Is it likely that between now and the spring that magically this number inventory could rise and less people, more people would be putting homes on the market than buying?
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting that. This happens every year.
Inventory to rise.
Right. So more homes come on the market in the spring. That's why it's called the spring buying season, right? So you've got more homes that come on the market after the first of the year.
Right. But what I'm saying is, the total inventory will probably drop between now and then because more people will be buying than homes coming on the market.
Right. So between now and the end of the year, the total inventory will drop because people don't want their homes on the market over the holidays because they've got family, whatever is going on with them. So we do see inventory dropping as we go into the new year. And then once we get to the middle or the end of January, people start bringing their homes on the market. And then by the time we get to springtime, then all bets are off and everybody's got their homes on the market. Everybody's madly searching for homes and hoping that interest rates cooperate and all that good stuff.
Okay, here we go. This is the chart, 5-year chart inventory in Las Vegas. You can see if you go back all the way to the right, that was 2019. We have less homes on the market today than we did basically at the end of 2019. So it's hard to see this, but the very left end of this chart is actually December 1st of 2019. December 1st of 2019, we had about 4,500 homes in Las Vegas. It's just Las Vegas that were available for purchase. We have about 3,400 and change right now. We have about 1,000 less, which and then you could see that the last 4 years have been kind of crazy. But what's most interesting about this is we are usually at the peak or just starting down from the peak of, more homes coming on the market, which is the key here is you have more. And yes, there are more sales that happen in this spring, but the total number of available properties start shrinking because buyers are buying them faster than they can come on the market. Is if you look at this chart, the least amount of inventory every year looks like it's in around April. Usually April's the best time to put your house on the market if you're trying to get multiple competing bids because there's just not much competition.
Well, and that's the height of the buyer frenzy too, because people are trying to get into homes before summertime and before school. So that's the reason why the spring buying season is always so hot. It's not necessarily just the sellers, but it's that nice confluence of sellers ready to sell and buyers ready to buy.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to compare this to national numbers. And the reason we're doing this is because I keep hearing these, oh, there's too many houses on the market. Like the last time we had this many houses on the market was 2008. And that's absolutely not true. Nationally, the weekly inventory fell from 722,000 to 719,000. Now, last year, it was less. But remember, last year, in the last couple of years, were the lowest it's literally ever been, probably since the 70s or 80s. The all-time inventory bottom was in 2022 at 240,000. The inventory peak for this year was 734. But here's the interesting thing. The same week in 2015, there were 1.1 million homes on the market in the U.S. Oana, was the country smaller or bigger in 2015 than it is today?
Well, clearly we have a few million more people in the U.S. today than we did in 2015.
Probably 10 to 15 million more.
And we have, a lot less homes. That's as far as homes available for people to purchase. Now, you may think, well, yes, we have lots more people, but they're not all buyers. You're right. They're not all buyers, but they have to live somewhere. So someone's going to own those homes and put them up for rent, right? So no matter which way you slice it, we just need more homes to accommodate the people who would like to live in them, whether they want to rent them or purchase them.
If also on here, if you notice this, if people say, yeah, but interest rates, just remember that last year, interest rates were effectively the same as they are now. As a matter of fact, at one point in the fall of last year, they went up to 7.5%. Right now, they're about high sixes, right? 6.9.
Right. So I was looking at conforming conventional, and it was 6.95.
Okay, so next thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to look at price per square foot. This is pretty interesting. Of course, this goes all the way back to 5 years ago. If you look back 5 years ago today, it was 175. It's 276 now. It's the highest it's ever been. It's never been higher than $276 per square foot. The other thing, if you look at all those diamonds, it's higher every year for the same date. So the median price per square foot a year ago was less. It was less a year ago. There's that little peak in 2022, but that was sort of this fake bubble that happened because interest rates went to 3%, or going from 3 and up, and people flooded in to buy the house really quick to lock in a rate.
Right.
Okay. All right. Juana, this is where it's going to get interesting here. Let's talk about market segments.
Right.
4 segments of the market, the 1.2 million and above. That's kind of the area you know a lot about. 1.2 is probably like, have you even seen a $1.2 million listing? They're all way above that, aren't they?
We don't go visit them.
You don't go visit them? Okay. What does it have to be before you'll go visit them?
They have to be about 3.
3? Okay. This is what's interesting. So 3 segments of the market. You have the top quarter, the second, third, and the last quarter. This is by size. It tells you the basically median price for that quarter, but that's the median price. There could be a $40 million house, but it just means it's above the median. What this means, Juan, is that 1 in 8 properties in Vegas is over 1.25 million. Isn't that a bit weird? Remember when we were when the median price was like 167, and if we got like a $400,000 or $500,000 listing, we're like, whoa! It's like massive, and now it's like, oh, 1.25. That's nothing.
Right. Well, so a lot of things have changed, right? Interest rates make a big difference. A lot of homes are paid off, so there's no debt on them. That makes a difference. We have a greater population. That makes a difference. Inflation, let's not forget about inflation. That makes a huge difference as well. And prices for everything, including for homes, have gone up dramatically over the last dozen years.
Okay. Here's some interesting stuff about this. First of all, the age. The more expensive homes are the newer homes. It's not because they're new. It's because of this trend of builders building luxury homes and higher end homes versus when I grew up here, builders were building 1,400 square foot 4-bedroom houses for like 30, 40 grand.
Right. So what's interesting is that you see builders building spec homes, track homes that are $1 million plus. You see builders that were not known for building a luxury product, like, for example, Lennar. They're building $1 million homes. And, as I like to say, $1 million is just a starting point, right?
Yeah.
You want a lot, that's extra. You want, any kind of special flooring or countertops or whatever. That's
Where do you
extra.
put the house if you don't put it on a lot? If the lot's extra?
Well, that's a good point. So the way they're doing it is that's the base, and then depending on which lot you want, well, this lot is this much and this lot is that much,
Right.
and that sort of thing. So you end up with maybe a home that maybe has a base of 900 something, but by the time you're all set, all in, maybe you're at 1.3, 1.4.
Okay. The next thing that's interesting is where it says new and absorbed. There were 70 new listings that were in this price range, the top quarter, but 67 were absorbed. That's pretty active for this time of year to have that many absorbed. What's interesting is the second quarter, the $650,000 price range area, 81 new listings, but 92 were bought. That's kind of a little hot for this
Right.
market. And then you can see the rest of the market was pretty even. So what does this mean in the spring when the buyers come out? I mean, I know people are saying it's dead, but it's not dead. When we look at the numbers, homes are selling, and we only have, we have less homes on the market now than we did in any year from 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Any of those years, we have way less homes on the market. We're looking to probably get down to 1,700 to 2,000 homes on the market, which will make it very difficult for people to buy in the spring. So what do you see happening in the spring, given that it's, in Vegas at least, it's not as terrible as people say it is?
So I think Las Vegas is going to have a lot of transactions in the spring, so there are going to be a lot of properties changing hands.
Okay.
I think that's for a lot of reasons. One of them is just pent-up demand. Another one is economic fortunes are changing, or at least perceived economic fortunes are changing. We're probably going to have maybe another interest rate reduction or two between now and the spring. So all of these are going to play into buyers coming out to play. And then, of course, we know we've been in the situation where the market's been frozen for a long time. There's not been a lot of movement, and something's got to give. I think people are going to go through the holidays this year and go, okay, that's it. I'm done. We just don't have enough room. The last couple of years, maybe we've had a couple kids, maybe we've had an aging parent move in, and there's just not enough space for all of us, and we need to make other arrangements and find another home that better fits our life situation.
CoreLogic and Wells Fargo and a couple of the other companies that estimate home price, home values, they're all between like 4.5% and 5% over the next 12 months. That's what they're saying home prices are going to go up.
Okay, but that's national.
Okay, so my question is, where do you see Vegas in that? Are we the over? Are we the under? Or are we pretty much the bet the line?
I guess for now, I'm going to be conservative and kind of bet the line.
Okay.
But I think that depending on the neighborhood, it's going to be it's going to be much better depending on the neighborhood, much worse depending on your position. If you're a seller, it'll be much better. If you're a buyer, not so much. Because you do have, of course, very desirable neighborhoods where there just are not enough homes that come on the market. And as soon as something comes on the market, everybody jumps on it, and you do have multiple offers. I mean, listen, I still see multiple offers. And it's not like it's one every once in a while. I see them much more frequently than you would think. And these are price points that are pretty reasonable. So because of that, if we're seeing multiple offers now where we just don't have a lot of transactions happening, once we get into the spring where we expect a lot more transactions to happen, we'll probably see a lot more multiple offers. And when you have multiple offers, what happens is most of the time you end up with a higher sale price than the original asking price.
Good. Anything else?
If you guys have any suggestions for a video, anything you'd like to know about real estate, please make sure that you leave us a comment and we will consider your suggestion. Remember to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.